Welcome back to Extra Dirt, the podcast designed to help you and your life group put down deeper roots relationally and spiritually. Hope you enjoyed this week's message. It was fun taking a look through this interplay between why do we question God, why do we demand signs from Him, and the state of our heart and our relationship with Him. And the thing that I want really you to come back to is the fact that we talk in church a lot about drawing closer to God. It's not about trying to be righteous. It's not about earning your favor before God, but that the Christian walk really is this journey by which we become more and more like Christ, where we draw closer to Him in obedience and in love, and we develop this relationship with Him. The problem is, of course, when we try not to say don't do things to try to be righteous, we sometimes look right past the fact that relationships require personal energy. They require self-discipline. And so in order to draw near to God, we actually have to put in some effort really to pursue Him. And again, the goal is not to earn righteousness, but the goal is to say, look, if I want to be closer to God, I'm going to have to actually spend some time with Him. It's not just going to randomly happen. It's not just magically going to take place without me actually rolling up my sleeves and getting in there and doing it. And so, as I asked you in the opening question to discuss really what the things you've read have been and how they've shaped the way that you see the world, I want you, hopefully, you can come to this conclusion that the things that we consume, the things that we eat mentally, the things that we are looking at and reading and thinking on and dwelling on actually change the way we see the world. And if we want to change the way in which we know God, and if we want to see the world through God's eyes, we're actually going to have to dwell on those things. And it has to go past more than just an hour on Sunday morning. And so we're encouraging you. I gave you definitely a way to read God's Word on your own, and I would encourage you, again, to reiterate, if the question comes up in your discussion, does this make us better Christians to just read the Bible? No, the act in itself is not earning you any favor with God, but the act in itself brings you to a place where you can experience God. You can see Him a little bit in nature, but it's not going to really clearly show you who He is. You can see God at work in your own life and the way He changes your desires and in the lives around you. But if we want to know God at the deepest level and really experience Him, we got to approach Him where He has revealed Himself, which is in His Word. So again, an encouragement to do these things, not to be a better Christian, but because in order to have a vibrant relationship with God, we actually have to spend some time with Him. So, in terms of practical considerations with your group, how do you help your group be healthy? I want to encourage you to think ahead a couple weeks. We're already nearing the end of our academic year, which means that we as well will be taking a break over the summer from doing these materials. I think we'll stop doing the study guides and the training materials. We would encourage you as a group also to take a little break. This doesn't mean you have to stop meeting together, but we do want you to sort of change gears. Monotony sort of kills passion. And so if you step back from what you're doing, which is hopefully a very healthy and encouraging thing, and you take a little bit of time to develop your relationships in other ways, maybe you're having dinner or barbecues, maybe you're going to the lake together as a group, as you change those things, that gives you a little bit of freshness, a little bit of Sabbath, so that when you come back to it again in the fall, Lord willing that you will, you'll approach it with sort of a new passion and a new excitement. We don't want to get into such a rut doing things that they lose all their original value. And to tie that back to what I was just talking about a few minutes ago, it's the same with reading God's Word. If you do it so monotonously that it ceases to become enjoyable and life-giving to you, then you're losing the value of it, and it isn't helpful to do those things. So we'd encourage you to find different ways to read God's Word, to experience His Word. Sometimes it's through the eyes of a Christian author, or through some worship music, or even through a stroll in the park. But we want to encourage you, again, to keep the freshness alive in your life group as well as you can. And one of the ways that we're going to do that is by breaking for the summer. So just so you're not taken by surprise, begin to talk even now. What are our plans as a group for the summer? We're going to take a break. We're going to stop doing this. Let's plan out something so that we can remain friends and close, and also give ourselves a nice little break from the routine that we've gotten into. So that's what I've got for you this week. I hope that you're blessed as you open God's Word again, and we will see you again back here next week. Take care, and God bless.